So we've been, as I think about marijuana, you think about people who smoke marijuana. But as you pointed out, when we were talking off the air, that's not the only way to administer this medication.
No, it isn't. There are multiple ways. It's smoked commonly, but it's also vaporized, in which a short burst of vapor is applied. It's also can be eaten. There are certain consumables that can be eaten with that concern the medication, and also as a liquid extract. So there are multiple forms that it takes. It's primarily geared towards the THC and the intensity of the dosage that's needed to relieve whatever symptoms that are being addressed. And as we talked about earlier, there's a whole host of symptoms. When I first got involved with this, like any good attorney, I tried to learn as much about my client and their business as I could. And I came to the conclusion that marijuana is used for far more than simply relieving nausea from chemotherapy, which is what most people think about. It's used for muscle spasms related to multiple sclerosis. We have many people in this region that have that. HIV and the inherent weight loss, it's used to address that for people that are suffering from HIV. People that suffer from seizure disorders, it's been used commonly for that, and it's had remarkable success based on this Crohn's disease. And other movement disorders like Parkinson's and Tourette's are currently being studied, but the results are absolutely fantastic. When I've seen the studies that have been done so far, as they continue to move into addressing those areas, and I mean there are hundreds of people in this region that suffer from Parkinson's and other involuntary movement disorders. But the studies that I've seen have showed it's been very effective so far. So, but mostly you're looking at what folks around in this area are familiar with is the chemotherapy, the relief from nausea.
Right.
And I know personally people that have had cancer and have gone chemotherapy and have illegally purchased marijuana on the streets through other means to help with the nausea.
Yeah, if you don't know anybody, it's just because they didn't tell you. Because we've all known people who had to acquire marijuana illegally to help with their chemotherapy. As I say, everybody knows somebody. They just may not know that they know somebody because they kept it themselves.
Now, you talked earlier about the federal concerns about this, but right now THC has been approved by the Federal Drug Administration. That's the active component in marijuana and cannabis is the THC for use in relief of nausea, and it takes the forms it's available as Marinol and Cesarac, and those are two basically prescription medications that are available that have been approved by the Food and Drug Administration. So as far as like what's going to happen with the feds in terms of addressing medical marijuana, it's sort of like the genie's already out of the the bottle on that. In fact.